or social matters. When we talk about birth rates, about our national income or debt, about carbon emissions, about unemployment, we, the UN member states, and we, the people, can understand each other because we have defined the measurement of these concepts in a specific way through the Statistical Commission. It is worth noting that in 2008, I had the honor to chair, as chair, to say the words, "It is so decided," and I had this grovel, and when I hit it on the table, "It is so decided" for statisticians. And in that respect, this was for the adoption of the international recommendations for tourism statistics. At that moment, we collectively decided that the rules would be for the measurement of tourism statistics. We decided who is a visitor, what is a tourism trip, what is covered by tourism expenditure, and how to deal with tour operators. Those were things we decided, and today I'm very pleased that I can enjoy the tourism environment rather than measure it, but actually enjoy myself about it. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to briefly take pause with the importance of official statistics and trusted data in a world in which media in general and social media in particular have taken an increasingly prominent role, in which all of us are confronted with fake news and alternative facts on a daily basis. The lines between what is fact and what is fiction have become blurred in everyday life. What is natural and what is artificial, including artificial plants, what is real and what is virtual have become almost impossible to distinguish. The day of robotics is here with us. Imagine when you have successfully gone into a conversation in the Philippines and you have said, "Omagandang umaga," and unbeknown to you, the lady robot responds seductively, and you go further and say, "Inibikita." Quite possibly, if not careful, one may wear the robot and discover just too late and pay damages to an immortal object. The difference between fact and fiction is very blurred. Against this background, it is now more crucial than ever that safeguards are in place to maintain public trust in official statistics. My knowledge of Maganda Umaga, Inibikita, has nothing to do with Dr. Africa, who was the chief statistician of the Philippines in the 1995 when I visited the Philippines. It had nothing to do with Mr. Ramolo, Dr. Ramolo, who was the former statistician of this. Neither has it do anything to do with Lisa Besals, who is the chief statistician currently. It had to do with a teacher from the Philippines who taught me mathematics in 1975. He taught me these languages, including Maganda Umaga, Maganda Hapol, Salamapo, as well as Inibikita. It is therefore important to note that on the 29th January 2014, the United Nations General Assembly unanimously endorsed the fundamental principles of official statistics and offered in this way significant political support for the independence of official statistics. For example, Principle 2 states that to retain trust in official statistics, the statistical agencies need to decide according to strictly professional considerations, including scientific principles and professional ethics. In times when facts are sometimes being challenged, the society should be able to retain trust in the information communicated by the statistical agencies. That is why I say statistics is a conduit of trust. The focus of this conference is on the measurement of sustainable tourism. This topic covers all three pillars of sustainability, namely the economic, social, and environmental pillars for people, planet, and prosperity. This makes it a beautiful and at the same time very challenging topic. The tourism sector provides income and employment, but could come at a cost for the environment and the cultural heritage. That is why we need to measure all these aspects in a coherent and integrated way. Gone are the days when the environment had no one to speak on its behalf, not when robots can speak for themselves and pass easily for living organisms. Certainly, the environment deserves better and should and demands to be treated with dignity. In this regard, sustainable tourism is of course a prime example for the goals and targets of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. Tourism can be a driver for the economy, lift parts of society out of poverty, and improve health and education, while pointing to the needs for sanitation, clean water, renewable energy, and clean energy, and easing of environmental pressures. Over the 3 days of the conference, the statistical framework for measuring sustainable tourism will be discussed in detail, and I will shun detail in these opening remarks. However, let me underscore a few important conditions for effective measurement. First, institutional cooperation. The National Statistics Office cannot collect, compile, and disseminate statistics all by itself. It needs cooperation and support from many national institutes, especially for a multidimensional topic such as tourism. Second and foremost, close cooperation should exist between the National Tourism Authority and the Statistical Office. Ministries of Labor on the one hand and the environment have to be involved too on the other. Stakeholder interaction, that is the second. Rarified and quiet statisticians need to go out and talk more to the users of the data, such as the Tourism Association, tour operators, cultural heritage associations, and environmental protection groups, and of course, enjoy the attractive tourist destination. Those interactions will create mutual understanding and support, and obviously prove to be more exciting than an acting robot like statistician behind a computer. Stakeholder engagement was also at the center of the first ever UN World Data Forum, which was hosted by Statistics South Africa in Cape Town in January of this year. This forum brought together government, businesses, civil society, and the scientific and academic communities to find new initiatives and solutions that will deliver better data for all. We need, thirdly, systems approach. Tourism statistics cannot be properly understood by itself. It needs to be embedded in a theoretical and statistical framework. Through such integrated approach, we can better understand what the contributions of the tourism sector are for the national economy, for employment, for waste management, for energy use, for health services, for maintenance of coral reefs, and so on. The integrated system approach brings all of the economic, social, and environmental aspects together and provides, in that way, the information needed by the policymakers and needed by all tourist stakeholders. Being in Asia, I may display a few abilities in language, such as I said Salamapo, Ariagato, Okentomto, and so on, for different regions in Asia. Let me conclude by re-emphasizing that the statistical community seeks to work closely together with all of the stakeholders, be it in government, academia, private sectors, or civil society. It is our duty to provide relevant official statistics as an indispensable element in the information system of a democratic society. Statistics is a constituent of trust, and greatness have come to statisticians. Let me then therefore thank you very much, the distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Salamapo, Okentomtom, and thank you very much.